All right, friends, how are you today? Aaron Michael Eschenberg here, bringing you some honest astrology for July 24th, 2019. It's a Wednesday. Happy hump day, everybody. What is going on? We've got the moon in the later degrees of Aries, okay? This is the spark. It's the initiation. It's the inertia. It's the I can. Aries is the sign of self, right? I'm going to go toward what is good and run away from what is bad. And we have the spark of the match to light the fire. Now, the sun has moved into Leo to go right up behind Mars, which is to keep the fire going. So what does this energy say is not only are we the match that sparks the fire, but we are the fuel that keeps the fire going, which is awesome. Okay, so it's like all of this kind of stuck watery energy that we've been feeling for the past month, we're breaking out of that. It's just like we're dripping wet and we're running now. It's like the marathon continues, and we have direction, we have ground under our feet, and we have passion that's driving us forward. We see our own light, we're manifesting our own light, and we have the strength, the agility, the ability, the know, and the care and the passion to start and to finish whatever race that we are, is ahead of us. Now, with this energy, we do not only just have this, this sustainable energy of starting the match, of being the match, starting the fire, and keeping the fire going for all of us to stay warm, right? But we have some like warnings going on, okay? So let me show you the chart and show you what's going on here. We've got the moon creating a square here to Saturn, to the south node, and to Pluto. The moon is also creating a semi-square to Jupiter. Now let's look here. We have Mars creating a quincunx. Okay, so just to know, the semi-square and a quincunx are very similar. They're those kind of annoying aspects. All right, and a trine to Jupiter. Now, both of these, although they're very different and they're in different fire signs, they're both saying a very similar story. What that story is yes, we have the spark, we have the inertia, we have the sustainability, we have the passion and the drive to keep all of these things going. Whatever journey we're started, we have the strength, the ability to start and finish this project. Now, the warning is, one is being mindful of our career and the bigger picture of where we're going here, okay? We don't want to, as I talked about before, with Aries energy, it's just like the weed that breaks through the concrete that is able to sprout through the crack. And it's like, how did this little weed manage to get through this concrete? Well, it did. That's the energy that we have right now. We can break through, okay? We can start this, and then, there we are. Well, this is saying like, hey, we don't want to put the carriage before the horse and just break through any concrete, because if you're the weed and you just popped up, or you're a tree and you just popped up in the middle of a street, well, the cleanup crew is going to come over and is going to spray some Roundup on you and de-weed you and get you out of there. So it's like, be methodical right now. We have to think about the bigger picture. This is the Jupiter in Sagittarius. We got to think about the bigger picture, and as well, we got to think about our career, our public image. This is all changing by January 2020, or the early months of January 2020. We expect major changes as the Pluto conjunction becomes very finite, very real in the early January 2020. So it's like the Pluto-Saturn separation right now. We have all this, redefining our life and restructuring our life and finding the balance of, it's like, again, shopping for clothes or joy shopping is just as much of a chore as grocery shopping. Sitting down at a fancy restaurant and waiting for your service is just as much of a chore as cooking and preparing your own meal. And Saturn is really trying to let us know that hard but very important lesson is we could potentially be headed toward a recession, as many astrologers look at this as like a really intense time coming up in the future. Now, this is a daily, but I mean, what we're starting now is going to project into that energy. So it's very important. What we're doing right now carries through, and how we're spending money and how we're using our time is very important to make these changes on our daily life. Again, these daily changes, restructuring our daily life to get where we're going. So it's important that we don't just sprout our tree in the middle of the street, because somebody's gonna come over and be like, well, that doesn't go here. Boom. It's just like in a forest or in a park. You figure out wherever you're planting your tree, wherever you want your tree to grow. The thing is just like, be methodical. Okay, this is like, I gotta pee bad, Mr. Eschenberg, and I say, okay, here's your hall pass, go to the bathroom, and then you're running down the hall, and the hall pass, this is Saturn, is saying, hey there, Billy, you're down the wrong hallway. You gotta go that way. And in the meantime, you're doing, the dance, you know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, we've wasted time, and now you gotta double back. So Saturn wants us to be efficient. Saturn wants us to get where we're going and get on point. We don't want to, again, that Mercury retrograde, put the carriage before the horse, so to speak. Thinking, being more methodical. So yes, we have the spark. Yes, we have the energy. Yes, we are our own light. We are the fuel. We are able to keep it going. It's just saying, hey, really think about this and really make sure that we're going in the right direction, because you can do and succeed in whatever it is you want, and whatever you're thinking, you can absolutely achieve. And it's just that, again, hey, let's go back to the chart. Just, hey, let's make sure we're thinking about our public image. Let's make sure that we're thinking about, how we're doing this in a daily life. Is this sustainable? And let's look at the big picture here, the big picture, right? And then further, we've got this moon squaring now Mercury. So just a day and a half ago, right, or 2 days ago, it was creating this interesting, trine. It was like a fire-water trine, which is like boiling the water to really create this interesting passion, where now it's a square. It's saying, don't let your emotions get ahead of your words, okay? This is super important, as we have a semi-square as well to Jupiter, okay? Again, the bigger picture, the bigger picture, the bigger picture. We have to continuously be thinking about the bigger picture before we just kind of open up and say something quickly, because this is that silver tongue kind of lashing out. The moon in Aries can be, immediate right now. And with Mercury in the water sign of Cancer, we can hold back. We can hold back. We can hold back. And then all of a sudden, it's just like your cousins over there pinch the hose, and you're looking in there, and now it's a mess. Anyway, so that's what we're going to try to avoid. So being methodical, being mindful of our communication, being mindful that we have a lot of energy right now, and all this energy is going to go someplace. So be mindful in where we're putting it. All right, that is your hump day in a nutshell. As always, thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's exciting energy coming on this week. We got lots more coming at you, so we'll see you tomorrow.